Totally.
Hello! No, it's just it says here in the Mario board. The main thing is the good story.
Ah,
Um, we are here with my good friends. Dax is back, and
hello.
hop over and give him a like and follow because he's awesome. And Anas, but you should not go to his channel because he doesn't have one. And
No,
Yes.
but I'm here to tag along. It's fun.
You mean he doesn't have a channel yet?
Yet, yes,
Oh yeah, maybe I should do that.
it's never
Yeah,
late.
maybe you should.
It's never late.
It is not.
We had a 1 week of break because of my father's birthday. I had to be absent, so we decided to skip last week. But
Mhm.
we are back again. And actually, that week's time has gave us some perspective. You can say gave us some time to think on and marinate on those ideas and things we talked about. And Daniel and I, we actually kind of worked out of a kind of a setting for a world, a universe for this short film.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of a commentary on society, mixes a lot of theories together. It's pretty
We were
interesting in my
basically-
opinion.
We were basically talking about that theory that we're all living in a simulation.
Yeah, so it's based on that, but we're gonna get into that. I first think we should go around and say, "How you doing, guys? How are you?"
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, it's just chill, you know.
Yeah, cool. What about you, Daniel? You good?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. All right. That's what we like.
My shifts and
Ain't
now
much going on.
I'm reaching the point during the evening where I'm starting to become alert and awake. You know, this is what it's been like.
Yeah,
Being a night owl, so I'm ready.
cool. Well, I'm a bit stressed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just had a conversation with a mutual friend of ours. She's Australian, and it was about the world and society. And I really, I got my I think I really actually feel my blood pressure went up. I got a headache and I had to take some painkillers
Yeah.
and take deep breaths and calm down. Serenity
It can
now.
be pretty stressful to talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Especially if you to do a little too much. I think you can also feel like you have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders sometimes if that's all you ever really talk about,
Yeah.
and you can forget about the good parts too. You know, it's not all bad.
No, it's not. Definitely not all bad. Definitely not all bad.
So yeah.
But it's good. It's good. We're here now, and this is not a time to get depressed. This is a time to have fun.
But you were gonna
Get excited.
still. You said the topic of the story you had in mind was something about a commentary.
Yes. Well, that was basically. I think you guys know that the reason I want to make movies is to put something out there with a good message.
You want to deliver messages, yeah.
Yes, and I think I have a setting, and it's not really set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. I just think it's a really cool idea, and I think we can develop it into be a fucking awesome idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was thinking actually we could I could go through this because it's a bit complicated the way it connects with each other, and I think it would be very nice to do it on Myro. Where I go through the different parts of the universe and the story, not the story, the universe and the world I have thought of.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys want to do a recap of the good story, or we should. I think we should just leave it here. And
I don't
we have
know.
this-
Last time we spent like
2 hours.
An hour, 2 hours
Yeah.
on just.
But I think this is gonna be
like basically recaps of our experience.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a really good thing to go back to as soon as we actually begin writing a story.
I think a recap is I don't think we need that.
Yeah.
I think it's fine if we just jump into the next part.
Good. Then I'm going to start with a little box because I am a happy little box. The little box is here. It says that's a giant box, but sure. It says.
Did you post the Myra link anywhere?
You should have it on your own Miro account.
I think. Here, go.
Okay. Let me just see.
Here it is.
Myro.
Costas universe is not great.
Oh, I can see a Myra board on the giant and the lizard as well.
Oh, you can.
And I can also
no, you should. You don't go in there. Don't go in there.
I know, but I can also see your D&D character backstory.
Wait. Why can you see the giant and the lizard?
Yeah, I can also see.
Because you've shared your entire Myro.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, don't go in there.
Don't worry.
I don't want a tutorial, god damn it. I know how to use it. Fuck off. I already said not now.
So
I mean, freak off.
we have a tiny universe. It's called Cosmos Universe here.
Here we go.
It's like fun. It's blue and it's fun because blue is fun. Yes.
Wait, where?
It's up here. It's to the right of the board.
Oh, we're over here.
Yeah, it's an infinite board.
Cosmos Universe, you self-absorbed prick.
Yes. Apparently, that's what Emily told me too before. The world is not about you. You make it sound it's everything like as everything is about you, and I'm like, well, I'm part of this world. I tell the story of the world as I see it. So
that part is about you, yeah.
That part is about me. Anyway. I have some built-up frustration.
I appreciate the fact you're not trying to hide it. It's just like, this is me.
Okay.
Just own it.
So
look out, here's Cosmos.
God, the main character.
The legend. First of all, let's take a bit of a dive into the theory of a simulation. So we have we live in a simulation. So I was actually watching this video with what's his name, Neil
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson. So I was watching a video with him where he was explaining, and he was like, okay, I finally found an argument that convinces me, and that like that I'm actually okay with the fact that we might actually be a simulation. So what he talked about is that there is on the universe there is a limit. There is an absolute number that we cannot go past, and that is the speed of light.
Yeah.
Speed of light. So
that's the rate of the universe expansion, right?
Yes. So he said that if we take that thing as if we are a simulation, the speed of light would be the limitation that the creators of this universe, of this simulation, had put on us. He then went and said that when you think about this theory, they can you are either the first one to to have. So if we say that this is our universe, right? We have a universe. It's our universe. We are either the very first one, and we are now on the verge of creating a second universe. Universe 2.0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or we are on the bottom of the list, and there is infinite universes between us and infinite how do you spell universes? Universes.
It's not Universe.
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 Ultimate infinite universes, and eventually there's like the original. Original. And he was talking like, okay, this is cool and dandy, but this is very depressing to think about, right? Even if we are not the like, we don't know where on the list we are. Like we could be anywhere, and there could be more universes below us, right? Infinite universes below us. Let me.
When you say above and below, what does that mean exactly?
That means that we are. So imagine there is a computer somewhere in a different universe that has a basically simulation in it, and we are in that. Yeah. So that's what I mean. But it's like the Rick and Morty thing when you go jump into the battery, right?
Yeah. The Geniverse.
Yeah, exactly. So we could be anywhere from the first to the last universe, anywhere in between. But then he said something. There is, and that makes it we are one in a quadrillion. I don't know, like infinite universes, and that is a very small percentage of like a very uncertain. And then he said something that is like, okay, but if you think that speed of light is the limit. When we reach the speed of light, which is something that we actually are coming very close to. I was watching research. I was reading a research paper, and watching some videos about a guy who, in the 70s, he created the concept for a spacecraft that would theoretically break the speed of light, like reach the speed, travel with the speed of light. And the theory has actually become almost reality right now. We have the technology, and the theory has evolved in this way to break that barrier. So what he said is, sorry.
It's just because the amount of energy needed to do that has been the biggest problem. For
but that's the thing. It doesn't need energy because what it does, it creates an empty vacuum space on the front of this shuttle, and uses the pressure of the air to push it from the back, so it actually consumes no fuel. So it removes a piece of universe in front of it, and basically gets pushed to fill that space, so it goes into the ultimate speed. That's very simplified. It's quantum physics or something. I'm not a physician.
I mean, already it's big words, too big for me.
But
I'm completely what the fuck are you talking about, man?
So what he was talking about was like, okay, what do all those universes have in common, right? In common, they are all simulations. They have all been they have all been created, and they have created a new simulation, which makes us, instead of one in a quadrillion or whatever, one in infinite, it makes us 50. It changes the value to 50-50. We are either the first one, we're either the original universe that and we just now we're creating for the first time ever in history or whatever, the technology to create a mini universe, or we are the very last one. And I think that is very interesting, and I think that if we are anything, we are definitely the last one. I don't believe for a doubt that we are the first one.
You think we're the last?
Yes.
Why is that?
Okay. And now I'm gonna go into that. Why I think we're the last one.
Yeah.
There is all this talk about dimensions and how there is higher and lower dimensions, and we are the shadow of a different dimension and all that. So I was thinking, I'm like, we have now the technology to do something. We have technology. We're missing the hardware at the time. But we have the knowledge to do something like Sword Art Online or Ready Player One. Sword Art Online, I think, is a better example. Sword Art Online, which is basically a VR game where you play with your mind. You have created a whole new universe, with certain rules, and you go there and you feel like it's perfect and it's like reality, and your brain fills out the empty, the blank spaces, and it makes it look completely realistic. So I was thinking, you know how if we were to create a universe, like a world like that, a simulation, it would be slightly less real than this because of than our reality, because of the limitations we have as like from our technology. We are 3D artists. We can only go so realistic, right? We cannot do something that is absolutely realistic.
Yeah, we always try to replicate something.
Exactly, but there's gonna be a few limitations. We're gonna have to put more rules, more limitations to account for those things that we cannot create. So I was thinking that because the thing about, because the existence of different dimensions has been approved with scientifically by quantum physics and stuff like that. Theorized, yes, and not just theorized, actually proven.
Proven?
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure, if anything, there was.
I'm not gonna put the my.
Like that.
I'm not saying, like, I'm not gonna put my knife in my heart and say yes, that was it. No, I'm not sure. It could just be a theory. I'm not sure.
Right.
But anyway, even theorized that there is at least 10 dimensions above us, and I think it would be a very interesting concept that the different dimensions are the different universes above our universe. So we have our universe. We have, which is the third dimension, right?
Yeah.
Third dimension, and we have fourth dimension.
Which is time, right? It is the expansion of the universe over time. That's what I've been told. As I understand it.
Okay, Sophie has joined the stream, so hi, Sophie.
Hello, Sophie.
Her first message is, "I'm lost. How did this happen?"
I mean,
and then I quickly just muted myself, said that I have no fucking idea, man. He started using big words, and I'm just as lost as you are.
Hey, I already explained this to you, man.
I know.
Okay. So
message, it feels like a physics TED talk.
So if you take this concept of dimensions and you apply the thing of simulations, you can say that the fourth dimension is just the people above us, right? Who are just hooked in a. You can also say it's like Matrix. Whatever, you're hooked. They're hooked in a computer game or something, and or in a different universe, and they are playing they exist in this world, but they have forgotten that they do that or something. I don't know.
Okay, so that's our universe, the third dimension, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's like a million above that, right? Like an infinite above that until you got the original.
I do like that. It's been a while since I saw the theory about these 10 dimensions, but I really like that when it was the third dimension is, of course, the first dimension is just a point. It's like the Big Bang, the singularity, and then the second dimension is like a line between the singularity and like the first atom, you could say. And then the third dimension is the expansion, like the second dimension is what we see. It's like our eyes can only perceive in 2 dimensions. We think we see in 3 dimensions because we constantly update our vision, right? But if you snap photos of what we see, it's just 2-dimensional, right? It's plain, and it's what we see too.
Yeah.
But we understand that we're in a third dimension
because of the relativity of everything, like how everything is relative to each other, how they move relative to each other.
Right? And if you could see the 4th dimension, we would be seeing the passage of time. So we would see like us from we're kids all the way until we're dead, and in the ground, and also way beyond that, like the whole passage of the universe from it was a singularity until it whatever it becomes eventually. And
that's actually that's actually a very, very cool concept, because that also ties very nicely to another point that I have.
Yeah, it's like
a lot of
the second dimension. It's just one point to another, like this the plane existence from the singularity, which is the third dimension of the universe, right here and now, to the universe in its different time, say, later on. You know, it's that drawing that line. That's what the 4th dimension is.
Yeah.
And the 5th dimension is where the universe has drawn multiple lines all over, where the different choices every time there's a different outcome that can happen. That's when you can diverge the timeline, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then you start jumping into different timeline ideas, so to speak. Like if you go left or right, you make a choice. That's what creates the 4th dimension. But the 5th dimension is having the choice to make multiple universes happen, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's where you get to the 6th dimension, where you talk about like the idea of a multiverse, a single multiverse, where every single option in this universe we're in right now has happened and can happen and will happen in a singularity point as one multiverse.
I think there's a lot of room to play with this idea, and like I'm not even done explaining it. And I think it's like we can come with a lot of interesting concepts and ideas and stories to tell in this thing. Okay, so and what you said actually ties well with another point of this thing. All right. Which is religion. Okay, controversial, but so I was thinking that a lot of religions are about bettering yourself, and a lot of other religions are about loving each other and be kind to each other, right? So there's 2 parts of this. So let's say that we live in this matrix kind of thing, this infinite matrix that goes up and to infinity, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people have described a lot of religions have described our existence as a cross. So you have, and that's why the cross is a symbol of Christianity, for example. So you have the horizontal line, which is your life, and you go from beginning. So you start here and you go through your life and you go to the end. And you have the vertical line, which is your your quality of being kind of thing. You know, that you change this vertically, and you go and you become a better person or whatever, right? So, sorry?
Yeah, I was just curious in context of who or what, like who decides the better person? Maybe
Yes.
I'm asking the wrong already now, but
Yes,
just let me know.
I think so, and I think you're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that.
Okay.
So what I was thinking was, what if in this universe, there was some people throughout history, like in our universe, that with different, like by approaching life in a different way, they decide they help themselves to wake up from the matrix, right? From this thing to go to a different dimension, right? So to go to
Yeah.
fourth dimension, and they talked with God, which is the creator of those universe, so basically scientists, right, who created this universe, and because of the limitations and understanding of the people of these times, they had to create stories to make to push people to thrive to achieve this thing that the enlightenment, right, to achieve this thing that other people have done. Some of the people decided to like Buddha, for example, right? He's talking mostly about bettering yourself. So he's like, okay, the best thing to do is make yourself better and meditate and blah 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 to reach the different levels, right? To get to different levels. While others realize that for people to have the time to think about that and about bettering themselves mentally and not physically, they will have to have their basic needs covered. So they decided, instead of focusing on making making yourself better, to make the society better. So there comes the thing about loving yourself and loving each other, not loving each other like you would love yourself, and help your neighbor. And for example, let's take, because we entertain the idea of Moses, right? So Moses wakes up in the fourth dimension, and he's like, or in the fourth universe above us, right? And he's like, he meets the scientist, and he tells him about the life, about that we are real people, we actually have feelings, and blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna help you. You can get people to achieve this, the thing that you have done, but you know what? People have to have their basic needs covered, and you are in a pretty shitty situation right now. So I think the best thing for you to do is start with slavery. End slavery, free the Jews. Okay. Yeah. So he strived for that. So he strived for that. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna make 10 rules for people to follow, and because this is gonna make the world better. And I'm gonna go back there, and every time I hit my stuff on the ground, you guys are gonna write a little code, and you're gonna make shit happen, right? I put my stuff down, like, right, okay, action, turn stuff into a snake or something, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the people like that evil, the bad guy in Matrix 1 who betrayed them. What was his name? I don't remember.
Agent Smith?
No. The guy who was.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, the real living guy.
Yeah.
Wanted to live his whole life in the Matrix.
Yeah. And then you have those people who know the reality. They know that they have to go up, but they prefer the short-term gratification. So that was it. So I was thinking, because how would you create a universe like that, right? What you would have to do would be to be exactly like it is now, right? You would have to create a giant sphere with all the elements. Create a program where you put the variables and all the rules of physics, and you press play, and that explodes, and it creates a Big Bang, which is a universe.
theory.
Sorry.
It's like the clockwork theory, that it's essentially where it says that God or the creator of the Big Bang just set it all in motion and then watched it happen. Like it's just running. The thing
Basically.
is, the machine started and everything is coming together over time.
Basically, but God is not some magical entity. It's just some people like us above us who have actually this technology to do this, right?
It's like writing a whole line of codes and then hit enter.
Yeah, and what you get because you cannot make everything perfect. Like you have some hardware limitations, you have some other limitations. So what you do is you put limits. You say, okay, this metal, it takes a lot of processing power to melt, right? To simulate its melting. So we're gonna put its melting point very, very high. So there's very few people who can actually do that, and it can happen in very few controlled instances at once. So our computers can actually handle it. And so you put limitations like that. We only have this specific amount of elements. We only have and if we created a universe, we would probably give them put even fewer elements, because a lot of our elements are not necessary for life. I think I was watching an experiment that they did where they put like a few raw elements, like very few, like 7 or 10 elements, raw elements in a bottle, and left it there for a few months. And after a few months, from nothing, it started creating life from its own. It was really cool.
Okay. Awesome.
By evolution, basically, life finds a way,
Yeah, really. I mean, that sets such a. I mean, if it's that easy,
it is.
Through such a simple experiment, doesn't that also kind of mean that we can't be the only ones?
Oh yeah. Okay, come on. Are you still in that? Of course, we're not the only ones.
What, sorry?
Of course, we're not the only ones.
Yeah, right.
Aliens exist.
Oh, but all these aliens also live in a simulation.
Yeah. It's a simulation where it's just the Big Bang, right? They simulated the Big Bang and put the variables and the rules and let everything happen from there. Now I don't know. I have a bit difficulty connecting the Sword Art Online thing with this thing. Because it's two completely different things, right? The one is this is basically Rick and Morty's thing, where he creates a universe out of nothing, where he simulates a Big Bang and planets are created and things are happening. And this is more like a Matrix kind of thing, where where there's infinite levels of people being hooked on computers, which I dislike a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't it like in Sword Art Online? They make people. It's like crowdsourcing all the information, don't they? Like they make it available for everyone, then they create their own little world, part of it, and that expands the universe for them. Essentially.
No, that's season. That's a movie, I think.
Oh, okay.
Sword Art Online it was just a game, one single game that.
Okay.
That people were trapped in.
Sure.
And could die in real life.
Okay. That's
if you die in game, you die in real life.
I mean, if that was inspired by the Matrix, then
yeah, that's tough enough.
True.
Oh well, okay. I mean, I don't think we need to essentially connect the dots here between Sword Art Online or all the elements and all that. I mean, in our if we had to imagine creating a universe here right now as these supposed scientists of the upper dimensions, we would probably have many different ways of creating a universe. If we think about the way we create video games, the way we create stories, we could do it ourselves. We could also do it through crowdsourcing the information. Everyone creates a little piece of it, like Second Life, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible example.
But but you're talking about a scripted universe, like a universe where everything is scripted and everything happens because that's how it's supposed to happen.
What I'm saying is there could be different ways to create universes.
Yeah. Oh,
And
definitely.
ours scripted. No, it could be procedural or
Well,
whatever.
technically, every video game is a little universe that we have created.
Yeah, like maybe we just want to think that our universe is procedural, but maybe it is scripted. It's been a huge debate.
Every video game, every book, every movie, even what's it called? Music albums are can be different like universes that we create.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like little things like that, and just I just like the idea that it's the fun idea of speculating what kind of universe are we even. It's a sidetrack.
Yeah, we just someone's story.
Yeah, someone saw that online. Is there even free will in this universe? Are we destined to create our own demise by extending our powers to break down the simulation and then we destroy ourselves? Like, what happens?
There was one movie that experimented a bit with the are we just a character in another person's story? And that's in fiction.
Which one, sorry?
You're in fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
You're cutting out, Daniel. I don't know why.
You're cutting out, Daniel.
My God, listen.
No,
Yeah, we're
listening, but you're cutting out.
Yeah.
You're
No, you are.
No, it's not called Danger in Fiction. It's called Stranger Than Fiction.
Stranger Than Fiction. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one experimented a bit with are we characters in another person's story? So basically, that movie was this one guy, everything that he did was something that another person wrote in their book.
It's kind of like the Truman Show.
Oh yeah.
He would just live his life like thinking that he was in full control of his own thoughts, thoughts and things he said and things he did, his job and his life basically. But it was all something that a writer wrote in their storybook without knowing it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fun way to think about it. Like, what if we are someone's imagination? We're essentially just some piece of a tiny atom inside someone's brain, that's just an expanded universe.
Yeah. Oh, I've also thought about that one.
I have often thought about that. Our whole universe could be a different being. We are just in the body of. We are part of a body of a different being, and our whole universe could be in the shape of a wolf or something. And it's just a wolf running around.
Like our solar system is just one atom.
And if I think if that was the case, the human race is definitely cancer.
Oh yeah, you think?
Can't you see how we're expanding and copying each other and destroying the planet?
We would just be on one electron.
Yeah. But
I mean,
what takes me away from the idea that everything is scripted in this, like we live in a scripted universe, is the fact that we know the rules. That like everything seems like kind of it has some rules and everything works with these rules. So it feels a lot like a simulation and not a scripted thing. You don't see things happening for no reason. There's no plot holes.
No. And even then, we're starting to get in. When you start to get into quantum theory, I mean, I'm not by any means an expert, but have you guys seen that experiment they make where they hypothesize some particles going through a filter, and when they hypothesize the trajectory of moving particles, they see that the particles are moving through the filter without even interacting with the filter. But so like it's all getting scattered randomly on the board behind the filter. But once they look at the board where the particles are landing, they're always filtered perfectly into the gaps what the filter demands that they're going to. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
yeah, I think it does.
You see the particle escape from the particle emitter they see that the trajectory of the particle is going to hit through the filter randomly on the board on the other side.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. Once you as soon as you look at where it's landing, it's always getting stopped by the filter, like in some way. It's hard to explain, but it's that quantum theory where things are in a constant state of superposition, where it's both a wave and a particle at the same time, like everything is. And I have to show you guys a video. I have to look at it myself again to get the facts straight. But once you start to look at that, then I also definitely buy the idea that some things are scripted. Once we start to go smaller, things get weird.
Yeah, because like for example, you know how information is stored in a flash drive, for example. You have a little piece of like an electron, like some very small source of energy that is moving from a place of from unlocked to locked. So when you lock it, it stays there. It can stay there for thousands and millions of years without disappearing. And that creates the stored information in like in the combination of those things, right? The interesting part about this is that this information, this energy, piece of little energy, electron or whatever it is that moves, it does not move from one place to the other. It disappears from one place and reappears in the other. It teleports.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting to think about.
It's so weird, but it's all also going back to the whole Schrodinger's cat kind of thing that started the whole idea of quantum theory as a experiment.
I think the whole Schrodinger's cat thing is more about certainty and uncertainty.
Yeah. But it's the same. Isn't it used as the same way to explain the whole superposition idea, where it's either a wave or a particle thing, where it either happened or it didn't. You don't only know once you actually look at it. Then it's a thing. It's hard to really put into words here, because I don't think we have a real experiment yet, except for thought experiments and philosophy. But I mean, that's what I'm gathering anyway from all this. I would have to look more into it, but I would love to explore this idea of.
I think it would be very interesting to do something like to do a project that has these ideas in it with scientific questions and questions about life and stuff. It would be really cool to tell a story in this aspect.
Yeah.
So what I'm drawing here is.
Please.
So this is actually the thing I was telling Emily right before about logic. I was watching a video the other day about that was explaining logic and how logic is basically the same as string theory. And what that means is that everything on the universe, on the world, right, is tied together because everything is part of each other, right? If we are all from the Big Bang, we are all created from the same atoms and that are just being circulated. And because everything we do, because we are tied so closely to each other, everything we do has cause and effect. So if I move this thing over here, right, and I move it up there, I move it up. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Okay. It doesn't work. Anyway. So I'll move this up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to pull on this and on this.
Yeah.
And on this and then this. But if this one is already going a different direction, maybe I'm not gonna be able to move this one all the way here. It's gonna move somewhere in the middle, and it's gonna pull this a bit together here, and so everything is so interconnected that it's really impossible to predict something, and that's also one of the reasons I started doing that, because you were talking about what if we are also a scripted thing, and that's what I think gives me kind of the hope, I would say, the hope and the courage to say that I don't think this is scripted.
Mm-mm. Because you think it's a simulation where there's cause and effect for everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I get that. Okay.
So I just had to ban some people from the chat.
Why? What happened?
Want to become famous?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At least you have people who ask you if you want to become famous.
Wait, what
They are definitely part of the simulation.
Hold on. Something's not right here.
I was actually watching, not watching. I was talking yesterday. Daniel was there too about. We were talking about how our bodies are, like you know your cells in the body die, and you regenerate a new skeleton and a new whole body with every 7 years or something, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking it would be a really cool way to visualize that as. Like a simulation of a Sandman, right? If you wanna do that. So let me see. This is 9 minutes. I'm finding the right video. Let's see if this is not the right. But imagine like a simulation of a human form, right? And this it's made out of sand, and the sand keeps falling down, but new sand keeps spawning from the inside, right? So it falls down because of gravity. So you're walking around. Let's see, fluid human simulation. Fluid human simulation.
I would definitely do that in Houdini.
Yeah, I think that would be right up your alley.
Yeah.
How do you search on? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Can you? Because I'm trying to find.
So we're all like walking around, shedding our.
Yeah, basically.
Great.
Growing, and we're a walking cycle of or at least a spiral, you could say, that comes from a beginning to an end.
Because it's this thing about I was watching a different video. We're saying that all the atoms on our body that we have are borrowed, and what is happening is, you know, when you inhale, like when you inhale the air and you eat food, these you take parts of this food, and they change and become part of your body and replenish your body, and as you lose some of your cells, new cells are being regenerated on the inside, and how depending on what you have been fueling yourself with like the past few years, that will determine how good your new body will be, your new cells will be, right? So by eating junk, you fuel your new cells in a bad way, so they're not as stable as the different ones. So you deteriorate slowly, like you become worse and worse quality. I think it's fucking awesome to talk about.
I'll put that in the idea of yeah, for sure. I'm writing that down, definitely. So like it would be a fun way to showcase that. So essentially, what it sounds like you're touching on here is you want to talk to people about what could be the meaning of life in a simulation. So like, what would make for a meaningful existence,
Yeah.
and the most compelling one, at least for.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, the thing that I want to touch more on was the thing about covering our basic needs, because it's also the thing I was talking with a friend about before we started this stream, and uh, got me very annoyed.
Okay.
Not annoyed, but very not annoyed, but you know,
Other one. Jesus.
frustrated and not on her, not because of her, but because of realizations and fucking stupid things. Yeah. So what was I saying?
We're talking about.
Oh yeah, how the the ultimate thing, like if we want to find an answer to the fucking ultimate question of why are we here and why do we exist in this world? Is there a God? Is there a universe above us? Whatever. The only way to do that would be if we had the time to think about it. Because right now this is something a luxury. People who have the time and the money can sit around and think about it. They can meditate and they can do meaningful things and look about this stuff. But the average Joe who wants to find this meaning of life, they are so occupied with the small stuff, with surviving, that they cannot, they don't have the time or the luxury of the time to research this stuff. So actually the best solution is to cover everyone's basic needs, so everyone can have that a bit of extra time to think about important stuff like this.
Yeah, I get that. I'm into that idea. I really like that idea as a moral kind of thing, or at least to give people an idea of how. I mean, we are establishing this universe as the truth, right? Or should we? Or do you want to make it more like a hypothetical kind of thing?
I don't know. We could play with the idea.
Yeah.
I'm not set on anything specific.
No, but I enjoy that. So,
Guy, sorry, I need a break here.
yeah, me too. I gotta pee.
Okay.
Frustrating as hell.
I'm enjoying it. I'm writing down these ideas you're saying up. So we're essentially talking about making life in this universe according to the rules of the simulation, the best for humanity, kind of thing. So we want to make this a feeling of cooperation within all the people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Through self-empowerment, essentially.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just had like 4 or 5 spam bots on Twitch.
Oh wow!
I'm
Okay.
like, banning them from Twitch is easy enough, but putting it on the block list on Restream apparently resets my shown chat on stream, and it says like, "Oh, write your email and password." I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. That's why we have moderators. So maybe you're right.
It momentarily just disconnected from YouTube and Twitch. I gotta make sure that this is still up, man.
Maybe I can try and moderate it, if anything, while we're streaming together, I guess.
It's exactly why I need moderators.
But if I'm here anyway, I could maybe try and do that because I'm not on stream.
It's still up. But it says I'm playing Beat Saber. That's wrong.
Yeah. All right, but a small break.
I need moderators.
Yeah, let's take a small break of 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm still live on YouTube. Good. All right. Break
In a
time.
bit.
See you in a bit. Bye. Any.
Are we gonna talk about?
Hello. We're back.
We're gonna talk about the hypotheticals of the story we want to tell, like what the goal is and morals, like the things we want to touch on before we end this. Like how do you think we should approach this?
So, first of all, I think we should define the rules of this universe, right? Of this
Okay.
multiple universe and how they work together and what how you can move from one to the other, what the like the control they have over each other. So define the space we work on, define the world, and then we can play D&D with it. Put some characters in there and see how they would react with it.
Sure, I'm down with that. I'll be fun, like do a little session out of it. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, right.
Fuck yeah. But define the rules, you say. So it's obviously going to be easier if we take our universe as the rules, right?
Yeah. So yeah, of course, our universe it should be inside this. So I think it would be very nice to take one of those concepts and like the thing with the simulation and see, okay, I think actually the best solution, the best way to approach it would be to see how would we create a simulation, like a universe simulation, and then take that and apply it to the universes before, right? And then see how much they can control this universe and how we can control the other, how you can move between the two and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. So we will define the simulators universe.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, because I was actually the idea we had a very crazy idea with Daniel. We're talking about, okay, let's take the story of Moses, right, and retell that story from the perspective of two scientists sitting in their office. So that would be like really cool to do, right? Right? You have, and the whole thing is a conversation. The whole short film is a conversation between two scientists looking at the computer screen and being like, oh my God, these people are suffering in there. Let's give them some help, and then they go to this really cool guy, like he's a Jew, but he happened to be in the what is it called, in the palace, and he renounced his right, his princely rights and whatever. So he wants to become, and he's finding this bush, right? And he's like, okay, let's put some fire in that bush, and then they're talking through the microphone. Hey, I am God. You have to do this and this and this. Just stick your staff on the ground and spawn staff, and there's a staff falling down. And it's like, take the staff, and every time you want to do something, put it in the ground, and I will help you with my divine powers or whatever, And then you see in like fast speed, they basically just have a UI, the computer with probably 2D UI because it has to be simplified or something, right? And and then Moses goes there and is like, oh, I demand my people to be freed, and then he hits his time. He's like, oh my God, what are we gonna, like, pause? What are we gonna do?
Is he?
What are we doing here? And okay, turn it into a snake. Oh shit, yeah, that would be cool. Like, so that would be a perspective on how to do that. But but I think we can do something way cooler with this. I think we can come up with something that is way cooler and can give tell a better story and give a better message.
Sure. I mean, the specifics of a way to tell this narrative. I mean, I love that idea with the two scientists. Definitely writing that one here in my notes from the scientist simulators, we could call them. But I think the specific story layout for me, if I was going to come up with an idea, I would need some time to let it soak.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said this is not what we should do. This is just if the very first idea that came to us, and it's like, I think it's really cool, but I don't think it's the thing we should go for. I think there's way more things to do with this, and there's infinite possibilities, and we can come up with something really cool. We should definitely not go with the first idea that came to our heads.
No. But it's a good example of what kind of universe you want to tell. You know that this is going to entail. So it's a good example, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are the gods, so the created entities, the simulators, and then there's us, the people who wants things. Okay.
So
and define the rules of this universe. Does that mean it's gonna be an explanation of the limitations of the simulators as well?
It could be. I think we should take this into a deep end where we actually talk about those things, and we talk about the limitations of the world, and because the more we define the world, we gonna play our own little simulation, basically, in our own little short film in the world that we're gonna throw our characters in, and they're gonna have to interact with each other. I think the better and more realistic and more fleshed out the story and the world is gonna be.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a really great point to start to actually build a world. Also that's what you do. We are all dungeon masters here, all three of us, and I think when you want to tell a story, the first thing you do is you make the world, right?
Yeah, true. Always. Everything is just cause and effect from there. So, okay, that's an interesting approach. I would like to know, would you like to focus more on on our world, like our universe, or on the simulators universe, which is the most important here?
I don't know, and I don't think it's important.
Okay.
Because I think the simulators universe is just a reflection of ours, right? So,
yeah. Okay.
So if we point down and maybe they have like the evolved socially in a different way, but it's pretty much the same as here, right? But a bit better. So I think as long as we do we put down the rules on how a simulation like that would work in our world, I think we can take that and apply it to the universe above us, right? And and make and just have it that, and maybe change a few things on the if we decide to take then the story telling thing to be on the different universe, then we can. But I think that would be in some ways. I think we shouldn't do that. We should not show what is beyond, because we don't know what is beyond. We only know what is here, right?
Yeah, let's not put ideas in people's heads.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like the thing, for example, Soul did in Pixar, where they don't show the afterlife.
No,
it's really cool.
What I really like about Soul is that they didn't focus on what comes after. They focused on what comes before
and what is now, right? I think they mostly focused on what is now, and what is before is more of an abstract idea of the explanation about what is now.
But it's still an interesting
approach. Yeah.
Approach, yeah. Something that we really haven't thought about before. Like what? I mean, sure, we have thought about the possibility of us having lived a past life, which technically Soul confirms in a way.
In their own little universe, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it would be good, as you say, not to put strange ideas into like introduce strange ideas that people cannot necessarily relate to.
Right.
Uh, like something we necessarily made up ourselves, but maybe keep it very vague.
Yeah.
Uh, but that could also change. That's also just a suggestion. But I really think we should start by building, like putting down the rules on those simulations and how they would work, and what kind of simulations are they? Are they a Big Bang simulation? Is it a Sword Art Online thing? Is it a Matrix? What is it exactly? You know?
I think that it's a good idea if we're going to go by our universe, it's definitely going to be the Big Bang universe. That's what we've established, kind of, right? Everyone's kind of okay with that, and those
Yeah.
who are pretty fanatical
No,
in the
no,
minority.
yeah, but I'm talking about the simulation that we in this universe would create, right? Because we're talking about like if we were to create a simulation right now of a different world, how would we do it? Because
Right.
that will determine, and I think we have to take in account on how our world works right now, because it would have to be as close to reality as possible. But how would that technically be possible, right? So my idea, which I've been talking about for the past 2 weeks,
Yeah.
is definitely the Big Bang. So you have a giant sphere. You open Houdini and you're like, okay, I have this giant sphere with randomly placed elements. Like the how many elements are there?
Right now, I mean, what we've discovered anyway.
Yeah, 118. Okay, so you have the 100.
Periodic table.
Yeah, the element table. 118 elements.
But they all derive from the same, like, electrons and protons and neutrons, right?
Well, the
Yeah.
118 elements of chemistry are the elements that we know of,
Yeah.
and also the ones that we have created.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's actually 105, 115 or something, right? Or 100 something. Anyway. So
many more.
If I were to, if I, like, out of the top of my head, right, or how, like, I've been thinking about it for the past 2 weeks, is it? But if I were to create a simulation like that, I would put those 118 elements randomly placed in a giant sphere in extraordinary amounts, right? And I would simulate an explosion in this program that already has set rules, right? So, are you on Miro, Anas?
yeah, I'm looking at.
So we have the 118 elements,
Yeah.
and
It will all explode in like its own confined space.
yeah.
Right.
So okay, you have. Let's take it from the beginning. You have a computer. You have a giant computer room with a server, right? Giant server room.
Sure. Just the whole the heart, the processing power.
Yeah, right. Where you have all the hardware and all the computers and all the storage and all the processors and graphics cards that work together, right?
Yeah, I get that.
And you have like one screen. Like, you probably have more screens, but yeah.
Yeah, let's say you see one screen. That's just like a monitor.
Yeah, so I have a monitor. In that monitor, you have a program which in this program you have a file, right, which says file, and that file is defined by its all the rules of the universe, right? The rules of the universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the universe. So what that entails, right? It's rules of the universe, it can be anything from laws of physics.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at spelling physics.
Yeah, we'll fix it. It's good.
Laws of physics. It could be what is it called? Biology.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I get what you mean. You could have like light, which is like essentially
Yeah,
the
how all the different things interact with each other, right? How the different how the all those how protons react, how electrons react, right?
the speed with which they can move,
Yeah,
which is also the visible universe anyway. You could say.
yeah. Speed. Speed. Electrons, protons, etc., and all those things, right? You have all those rules in that single file. So you take in that file, you take the 119 elements. You create a giant ball randomly placed, right? These are random place. Wait a second. How many atoms in the universe? So we have between 10 to the power of 78 to 10 to the power of 82. That's not a lot, actually. 100 randomly placed.
Wait, what are we talking about right now?
Pool. So we have 10. This is the amount of atoms we have in the universe.
Really?
Yeah. In a pool of 10 to the power of 78, or like of a number of number between.
I wonder how they figured that out.
Because they kind of know the size of the universe. So.
Okay.
Atoms. So you have a pool of these amount of atoms, right? And these amount of atoms are divided in those 118 elements, and they're randomly placed. And then you create a simulation. You simulate an explosion. Simulate
Picture.
Explosion.
Whee. Cool little thing.
You simulate an explosion, and then you let the rules work.
Yeah.
And and then you see what happens, right?
Okay.
So what is gonna happen according to that experiment, right? Is the gravity is gonna work with each other, and atoms are gonna fuse and create planets, and planets are gonna fuse and create stars, and those stars are gonna create solar systems, and from those solar systems, because of the sun, there's gonna be life on certain planets depending on the distance between the sun and between the planet and the sun. And where there's life, there's going to be humans eventually. Well, some intelligent life eventually, right?
Yeah.
And eventually they're gonna be able to create their own little universe, right?
Supposedly. I mean, it would have to invent their own little limitations, I guess.
And so the giant server room is the thing that puts the limitations on this world. Limitations on this universe based on the hardware capacities, based on hardware capacity. We have to do more research on that, of course, on all these things that we talked about. But this is just
this is just ideas. Okay.
So
this is the idea you have of the this universe we're creating, so we're trying to explore.
So this is how I would create a simulation of a universe right now, right? So if we assume that we are part of a similar thing that was created, and we are actually here, we are a part of this simulation, and what has happened is us.
Yeah.
Then yes, this could have happened for infinite amount of times, right?
Yeah. Also, it opens up a lot of questions like who is watching,
Yeah.
like who
has the server room, right? Who has the giant server room?
Who benefits from this this whole simulation? Okay, so let's see. There.
And and then you say who is watching, because that's also connected with this, right? So who is watching us? This is the questions that we come up with to, and from that stems religion, right?
Yeah,
religion,
for sure.
And from and the meaning of life, right?
Yeah, we could also go into the whole Confucius' hypothetical, the debunking of religion, but we could also probably twist it into if we are in this universe, for example, when he asks like, well, our creator is he I mean, he's the problem with evil, the whole thing about are they watching us and can do something about it, and are they willing, if they can, will they do it? If they can't, why are we even considering what they want, what they care about? You can kind of expand on that entire philosophical theory, you could say.
Yeah,
and this
I think there's a lot of interesting question coming from that. Because, for example, maybe if we had a similar thing, right? It would be very hard for us to pinpoint specific, health specific individuals or specific civilizations out of this giant thing, and most likely we wouldn't do this to help. This would be an experiment. We would see how do these people evolve, and most likely we wouldn't even consider them as sentient. Even if it was AI and it was working as a universe, we'd be like, yeah, this is just a program, this is just a simulation, they're not sentient, right? So you wouldn't go in and help unless someone reached out and said, hey, we are actually suffering out here, we actually have feelings, and we feel that like we are alive, and we're talking about these issues about who has created us, and what is this all for. And
I mean, so yes, so that whole idea, like, why must we suffer and all that? I mean, it's that's a very dark approach to take to it. You could definitely go into the whole existentialist dilemma about, well, is there even any meaning? Like, it's all absurd, it's all strange. But we could. I mean, if you take that look at life, you could definitely go into showing people that, well, if we have been left behind, let's imagine that. Let's imagine for a second that, okay, someone has created this life for us, and it's not the best always, but we still find some little bits of pieces of hope. Like there's something that keeps us going. Like even when it's when life is shit, it's not like we're just going out and killing ourselves because we see that there are problems in the world. Like some people do, of course. It's like despair varies, and everyone's suffering is their own. Like you can't compare suffering because everyone feels their own suffering as the worst, right? So, but you could, but if you look into ways that people deal with it, I mean, some people find distractions, but it's also about creating some meaning for yourself. Be a little bit, I wouldn't say selfish, but you do have to
think of number one.
Yeah, you have to improve yourself, like empower yourself to the point where you can at least affect those around you in your near vicinity to be better, or set an example at least that betters the community around you. Let's say.
Yeah.
Right. So even when nothing on the big scale really matters. I mean, if everyone thinks that way, then of course nothing's ever going to improve.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So that whole rant makes any sense. We could dive into that.
I think it would be very interesting.
Absurdist storytelling where it's all good and dandy, and it's all true. Like everyone's essentially right, and it is terrible, but we can make it better because we're all a little bit selfish when it comes down to it, because our suffering is individual, so we can't go around taking other suffering upon ourselves because we don't know what it is like. We can make our own suffering easier and stand as an example for others who are suffering.
And also the thing about suffering is that by helping yourself, you do if you help yourself without hurting others, you are actually helping others.
Indirectly.
Yeah, and many times directly as well, but yeah, indirectly, like because as I said, it's all connected with strings, right? It's all cause and effect. So if you go to a direction that is better generally for you, it's most likely better for society as well, unless you are hurting society just so you can be better,
Yeah, I think at least in today's world, we have it kind of well, at least here in the West. We have it so well that we are starting to take other suffering upon ourselves, and it's not really creating solutions for, at least it's not what I see anyway. It's not creating solutions for everybody when people are telling others how to end someone else's suffering. It's more like, and still, it's a very debatable question. I know I'm jumping into something that we're still debating a lot. Everybody is like, who are we? I think it's a good question to ask. Who are we to decide what's best for others? Who are we to say that the best quality of life is the life we live right here? Some people might be happy just being like farmers. Some people might be happy having $2 million Lamborghinis, and one of those people might suffer more than the other one. But it is still an individual suffering they have to go through to get what they like, and having other people start to interfere with their progress through suffering, I think can create this weird codependent suffering between both of them, where the person takes on the suffering of another, starts to suffer for them, and then they end up having more stress in their life, which is really not necessary when you think about it. You can definitely help the people you think are suffering. If someone tells, but you could keep it down to a much more individual level where you can say, maybe some person that comes out and expresses, I feel like I'm getting bullied. I can't get, I don't want to talk with anybody. I hate my life, like something like that. And if you see that, of course, you want to help. How the hell do you start doing that? How do you start taking on someone else's suffering like that? Well, if all you can really do is offer and be supportive, but I mean, if the person doesn't want your friendship as the thing that is helpful to them, you're still going to have that. You need to disconnect yourself from their suffering in some way. I think. Anyway, it's very much individual and it's very political. And it's very controversial to think that, but I don't think that people can be. It should be a direct influence, as ourselves should put our own strength into to say that we should be the reason other people shouldn't suffer. You know what I mean?
I
Overcoming of
I think I know what you mean. I slightly, maybe even a lot, disagree.
Okay, but I think that the reason people should come out of suffering should be from themselves. They should feel like they overcame it themselves.
Yes, the issue there is the thing I was talking about before, that many people don't have the luxury of time, or like the luxury of thinking about coming out of their suffering, or the opportunity to do that. Like, imagine someone who was born in Afghanistan, and they have lived since they were kids, and I'm actually taking this from a real life. I'm not gonna mention them, but a real life person that I know. It's and they go they try to. They lived all the childhood in war between, and they don't even know when exactly they were born. And all their life is running and trying to get this opportunity to get away from it, and this specific person was strong enough to move away from there, run away from there, and go through so terrible things, coming through Europe to go to different country, and still after so many years, after 15 years of doing that, still hasn't been able to he has moved up in the world for sure, but still hasn't been able to take his mind off. He lives in constant fear of being kicked out of this new country, and being sent home to be killed, basically.
Yeah, I get that.
And most of the people who suffer the most, like, we are privileged in this society, like in the Western world, in Europe. We are the most privileged fucking people in the world right now. We have a very well kind of pretty well running society, and we don't have that many homeless people. No one really starves that much. It's pretty good, and so for us it's pretty easy to get a bit higher up and end our own suffering, because we have the means, because the society and the world around us gives us the opportunity and gives us the means to end our suffering. Right. But most people outside of Europe, and they don't.
I think you're misunderstanding, because it's now the point I think I was trying to make here. If you're going to go by your example here of this person, it's that if he comes out and says, "I need this to happen to have an improvement in my life," that's when we can step in. That's when we can make a difference. It's when people start to assume someone's suffering, it becomes a problem. But this guy or girl that you're talking about, this person, they have clear issues, but maybe some of those issues can be helped by us when they actually.
But who are they going to reach out to? They don't know you. They don't even have access to the internet, right? If we don't assume that a war in Afghanistan is is a bad thing, and we can kind of tell that these people are suffering and they don't really have the opportunity and the technology and all the privilege to say to say that they are suffering, then we have to assume it, otherwise nothing is going to change, right?
This is what I want to know then. Who are we to say that this is not the quality of life that the people want? I mean,
Who wants to live in war? Who wants to live in hunger?
live in war? That's a good question. If people don't want to live in war, shouldn't they do something to change it?
People are doing something to change this since this has been the thing, the age-old question, peace or war. You know, it's war is only good for the rich, right? Okay, but I think we digress. We go into different subjects, but I think that
I think this is interesting. I mean,
it is interesting. It is interesting, and let's continue talking about this, because I think it goes again back to what I was saying before with the basic needs, because we as humans, we know that we have some basic needs that need to be covered for us to live comfortably, and there is like the fucking pyramid, right? There's the pyramid. What is it called? It has a name. Basic
the pyramid of well-being, of health, or something like that.
needs.
Food, water, sex, and then that's what you need to.
Maslow's pyramid, right? So it says on the bottom is physiological needs: food, water, warmth, and rest. 15% of the population right now doesn't have access to clean water.
Right.
So unless we cover everyone, these are physiological needs. These are needs people need to survive physically, right?
Yeah.
So we have to assume that everyone needs those. That no one is happier without food. No one is happier without water, without warmth, and without rest, right? So if we see a nation around there or someone not having that, we have to assume that they need it. They cannot just be happy unless they go out and say, I actually want to do this, like I have the option to drink water, but I don't want to drink water. Then go fuck yourself, right? You can go down on your own. But
I'm definitely agreeing with you on this. Like this is when people don't have these basic needs.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to come out and say we need this. If you go just look at them and see that they're starving, they're drying, that they're dying of thirst and hunger. I mean, or just in the cold, of course.
Yeah.
I get. Then you want to aid them, and you can do that.
Yeah. And let's move up in the pyramid, right? We have then security and safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here is where work is coming from, where war is coming in, right? If you live in a war zone, there is no security or safety. These are part of the basic needs. And then you have psychological needs, which is belongings, love, and love needs, intimate relationship, friends, and these are the needs that you can work on yourself, on your own. The basic needs are needs that need to be covered by society, not by yourself. These are things that you need to, and it's something that can be achieved in our lifetime, and it should be achieved able to achieve with the technology and the.
Doesn't the line always get a little bit muddled every time we start to assume what people want as security or safety? Of course, wants war. I don't think anybody wants war. I think people who are at war think it's necessary to have war to get peace with something else. Right.
But here we're talking about not psychological, physiological security and safety. So you shouldn't be afraid to walk outside, right?
No,
you shouldn't be afraid to. You should feel safe in your home, and these are the safeties. We're not talking about safety in. I feel safe in this like this warm feeling of safety when you with someone you love. This is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about actual safety.
You don't have to look over your shoulder and be paranoid all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thing that women are going through. You know, the thing where they have to walk around the street and be afraid of being raped and all that.
Walk up.
Yeah.
All kind of thing. True.
So, and these are needs that, like, it should be abundantly clear to everybody that these are things that need to be covered. And like, I don't know how we ended up in this subject, but
I'm totally with you on this. It's for me then it becomes a question of who are we to say what needs to be done to change this? How do we even begin approaching this problem without either alienizing somebody or generalizing or becoming, when we start to amass this opinion for the whole society to think in a certain way, it becomes muddled. Think like everyone becomes a personal issue for many people, and I think it's not a majority issue.
I think there's a very simple way to explain this, to explain a solution to this, and that is equality, right? For equality in those two basic needs to be achieved, some people are gonna have to give some things up, and some people are gonna have to get some more things, right? And I know this sounds a lot like communism, but it's the only, like, I'm not saying that communism is good, and I haven't really read upon communism and what it stands for and what it does.
Taking all the resources and dividing them equally with everybody.
Yeah, but not exactly. Not exactly. Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying that the rich should give all the money away and buy. Give everything away and just live with a bare minimum. No. You don't have to do that. You just have to make sure. The rich have to make sure that everyone has at least food, water, a house, and that no one needs anything of that. Clean, like it's the bare minimum. It's literally the bare minimum. If there's people in the world who don't have that, then there's something is not right, and there's people in the world who have $800 billion in their account, right? Like, takes and you don't have to do this in a way of the rich have to invest in that. No, you can do it in the government, right? You can say, we putting a higher tax on, and this is actually something that they're trying to achieve right now in America. There's the welfare bill or something. I'm not sure what they call it, where they're trying to make a higher tax on the people who earn the most. So the people who don't earn as much can have the basic needs covered.
Right. I don't see the problem here with like the goodness of this idea. The where it becomes muddled and it becomes either very preachy or hostile is when you start to get into details about, okay, well, how are you going to enforce that, and how are you going to make sure that people actually feel like they have to contribute to anything when they just get everything?
It's like this thing that I sent on the group chat before, right? Where it's like, I'm not gonna be. If I have already 100 million, I'm not gonna be happier. Money doesn't bring happiness, right? If I have 100 million and you give me another 10 million or 10,000, I'm not gonna be happier. But if you give 10,000 to someone who doesn't have anything, it can be a giant help for their life. So
sure.
Why does it matter whether or not you have 800 billion in your account, or you have 700 billion even, or 750 billion in your account? It makes no difference, because this money just sits there and you do nothing with it, right? So I don't think that is a hostile thing to do, even if you like.
Even the richest in the world, his money is not something he has in his pocket. I mean, it's money that is in property that he owns. Here for a second. It's the cost of it's the cost of every building, every company, every website, open server room, everything that they should take Jeff Bezos, for example. Mm-hmm. It is the cost of his entire franchise combined in, if he just sold it all tomorrow, that would be the value of his property. The money he earns himself, I think that is way different. And he also makes decisions that will cost him billions. Like it's about, I think when you start to play the big game like that, it's just a different situation entirely.
But even if you look at it like that, when we're not talking about like taking billions from those people, we're talking about taking a very small cut, like we're talking about. First of all, the richest people in America, in the last year they grew their companies and their what is it called, profit by 1 trillion dollars, right? Trillion.
That's cool.
You know how much a trillion is?
That's stupid money.
That is 1,000 billion.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking money, man. And they said if we put the bill they're trying to pass right now in America, it's something about taking like a very tiny percentage of that as taxes, and that would be able to lift so many people out of poverty, and to give monthly on. And like for every American, like a $3,000 help, because in this COVID, in this pandemic situation, and they're voting no on that because they don't want their pockets to get slightly smaller.
There's no democracy in that.
It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. Like America is not an example of good democracy.
America is not a democracy.
It's not a democracy, no.
I was actually watching a video about that yesterday, I think, where they said that if you were born after 1996, I believe, you have not experienced democracy. If you're an American and you're born after 1996, you have not. Turned 18 after 1996. You have not experienced democracy in America because they passed a law that said that spending money is a form of free speech.
Oh.
And
really?
that means that that exactly.
Wow.
Spending money is a form of free speech, people.
Yeah.
And that means that people can, giant corporations can basically buy elections, and that is technically legal.
Yeah. Okay, that's fucked up.
It's not a democracy.
How is spending money a form of freedom of speech?
It's because the concept is that I have some money, and which means I can buy campaigns, right? I can make promotions for specific people, and I spend my money, and that is my right to promote someone by spending money. But that's not what the law says. The law says spending money is a form of free speech. So that can be interpreted in many ways, right?
Freedom, man. I fucking hell. Okay, but if we're gonna go a little bit on this tangent, I do think just if we're talking about the world right now, the biggest powers in the world, China and America, they have this very, very toxic codependent thing going on right now.
Yeah.
America, this
and
venture
the one is full communist, and the other one is full capitalist, and you can see that none of them are working correctly, right?
It's not exactly a communist country, even. It's just totalitarian. Like it's to the point where it's a dictatorship essentially.
They're both totalitarian. They're both dictatorships.
Yeah, and and China is riding off the back of their extremely high labor of their children and people, and and then there's the Americans who are just selling off.
Are doing the same. They're doing the same, but in a different way, right?
They're just selling their labor, essentially, or the companies to China, and then they create this insane boom in economy between people who just shouldn't have all the money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're arguing over which form of rule is the best.
Yeah. But and then where it gets really problematic is when they start to say that they have claim on land. So we can't just, like us three, we can't just go out and start a farm and be self-sufficient. We need to own the land first.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be a part of the society that this land belongs to. Like we are a little bit enslaved, and we're just waiting for Europe to be part of it.
Yeah. Pretty fucking much, yeah. And it gets like the deeper into it you go, the more absurd and surreal it gets. It's so like freaking weird. Like if you think about all the things that we are making that we don't need just because it's lucrative. We were just talking about how the war is stupid, right? Like, and like and how many trillion of dollars are going on creating weapons?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of creating weapons? What is, like, if we are living on a world that there are peace treaties all around the fucking place, right? We are in 2021. We should be able to find better ways to like talk about our differences without fucking war. True. Guns. This should not be gun regulation. This should be no fucking guns.
This is a fun topic for the story, if anything. Like fear, fear and control could be a fun topic to elaborate on.
If you ever hear two people arguing with each other about their beliefs, you will always hear that it starts with one of them getting louder, being more vocal.
Yeah.
Which triggers aggression.
Yeah. I mean,
that get triggered in person, the more violent they will become.
Yeah. Like, because I have that idea. If you just do what I say, we will have peace between everyone. It's true.
I think it's just a natural thing for us humans.
It is, but I think what I was actually talking about this with my sister. We were over to her place this Friday for her boyfriend's birthday, and we were talking about this, and we came. Wasn't it, or was it yesterday? I don't know. I was talking with someone about this anyway, and we were talking about that. This is what makes us human, to being able to say no to our instincts. We were talking with Alexander about this yesterday. Yeah, and this is what makes us evolve as humans. Our instinct is as animals was to what is it called, to hunt and eat, and then hunt again when we're hungry and eat and whatever. But we said no, we're actually gonna farm food. We're gonna store it. That was the thing that we said no to our instincts to, and unless we say no to all those instincts we have of aggression and toxicity in so many ways, like toxic masculinity and putting ourselves in groups and labeling ourselves. This thing with labeling is really messing me up.
Yeah, it's definitely touching people in the wrong way, because people use it not to establish a meaning of any kind or a sense of peace. They use it to discriminate and to call people out.
I was actually talking about this with about this, the LGBTQ community, right? I love the LGBTQ community because they have like they came out and they gave power to each other and to people to talk about how different they are, and that being
Sure.
different is okay, but the way they did it is awful. Seriously, instead of making a platform where people can educate each other, like say instead of going aggressive, because what they're doing now, they're putting themselves together, and they fight the ignorant people, right? The people, the straights, all those who, and it's not like it's not the straight people's fault, right? To that they act this way. They act this way because it's normal for the society that has existed for so long. This has been our instinct. So instead of going against these people and say you suck and you're oppressors and you fuck you wanna control us and you don't want this and you don't want that, just try to educate people and say, you know what, it has been like this for so long. Maybe it's time for a change. You know.
Yeah.
Let's we are actually different. This science has shown this and this and that and
exactly what a lot of LGBTQ people have done. Yet there are so many straight people that just straight up refuses to face the facts.
Of course, and I'm not saying the whole LGBTQ community is doing this. I'm certain, and I know a lot of people who are trying to educate and like who have blogs and show that like they are like their normal lives and how they're different and what that means for them and all that, and I think that's awesome. But
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
but it has really gone to that thing with going against each other. It's the same thing with the millennials and Gen Z right now. Like they're fighting for no fucking reasons because
I think that's more of a joke.
my hair. It starts as a joke. It started as a joke, but it's not a joke anymore. People are actually angry. It's absurd. People have put them.
I don't see it anywhere.
People put labels on themselves and like, oh, I was born after this year and I am and I have to act this way, and whoever doesn't do that is a stupid fuck up. And like, why? We're all fucking different. You like this thing? Yeah, I like this thing when I was a kid too. Just do your thing and let me do my thing. Why do I have to be the same?
Absolutely. Okay, guys, I gotta pee again.
Okay, let's have a break.
Yeah, break time.
Okay.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
live now, so we might as well just do it.
Okay, let's go through it.
Guys, can we finish this in a short time? Because I kind of want to eat.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you say?
Let's do. We can finish here. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean we
Finish
have
up now?
for a long time on anyway.
Yeah, we can finish now. And Daniel and I can play something. Instead.
Sure. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have kind of a little simulation here.
Yep.
Kind of the very basic description of what it is, and we are starting to build the world, right?
Yeah.
And we're starting to maybe have a theme. So I don't know. I really like these streams. They're a lot like a podcast. It's
Very relaxing.
very relaxing, and
I like that today we just talked about kind of whatever after the like at least these past like 30 minutes, 1 hour or so. But what I've gathered so far as potential themes for the story is that we want to make it seem like it teaches people to be a bit more stoic about solutions. Like it's not like a one size fits all fix, but you can educate people without being hostile. It doesn't have to be an indoctrination, into some group, into some label. You can teach people, you know.
I think that would be a very nice message to pass.
Definitely, yeah. I like that idea too, and it doesn't have to have any names put on it because it applies to everybody, every person. Even, I mean, I've been pretty damn aggressive lately. Sometimes also, I'm sorry for that with you guys. So because and because I'm currently practicing honesty with myself and trying to express myself, and sometimes that comes out very harshly and very bluntly. I know that.
Yeah, I totally get that, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to do anything to besmirch or corrupt this friendship of ours, but I am counting on you guys to be real with me back. When I erupt, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I actually on the first break we had, I kind of had my world shudder a bit in front of my eyes. I had a talk with my girlfriend about the conversation I had with that mutual friend of ours. Yeah, and she was real with me, and I appreciated that. It was like, those hard pills to swallow, but you appreciate it. Like you need to hear it. You need to to be shaking out of shaking back to reality. What you're saying. I know where you're coming from, but it's you being a bit stupid right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be. I mean, of course, you don't have to.
Without being
take it.
condescending or anything, and just saying your opinion. It's you don't have to hate on someone. That's the whole thing, right? You shouldn't hate on anyone. Everyone has their reasons.
Exactly, and you also don't have to sit there and take it. When someone is being unreasonable.
Yeah.
You don't have to just be on. You have to be on a line of defense. You can just be like, screw you. What are you saying? It's bogus to me. It doesn't make sense. And that's it. You don't have to be. There's a way. There's a way to approach telling people about what you think, or what you would like to see different.
Yeah.
I think going back to what you said about the labels before. I think it would be really cool to tell a story using this principle of no labels. For example, I love the way Pixar did this with Wall-E. For example, they're two non-binary characters, right? They're just robots, and and they tell the story of love, and it's incredible. And I think we should,
That's actually pretty interesting what you said that they're both non-binary.
yeah.
Because if you look up, I think Disney themselves came out and said that they're male and female.
Yeah, I don't think they did it consciously, but
No, but that would basically say that Disney believes that gender is a matter of representation and not genital.
I mean, you can apply whatever, but I think it was definitely a deliberate choice to make Wally a bit of a guy kind of looking character.
Yeah.
I mean, if you attribute the fact that Wally could be a female or anything like non-binary, like nothing,
Sure,
that,
but saying that
you're going to
no, but what I mean is exactly what Daniel is saying, that male and female, that is that it comes down to representation and not biology.
yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
But like you said, Anna, that Wally looks like a guy, Eve looks like a girl.
And even then, I say that as a biased person. That's the kind of soul I put into him.
Yeah, but that would also say that you yourself believe that
Exactly.
that
It's not.
gender is a matter of representation.
And I think and that's the thing that the LGBTQ community is talking about, and I think that's very interesting to see in a movie. Even though it's an old movie by now, but people have been talking about it right now, and it's very cool to see. And I think we should apply something similar to ours, where we should take labels completely out of it.
But I also do like the idea that Wally and Eve are non-binary.
Yeah.
But it also actually makes me think about the game Apex Legends.
I lost the game.
Come on.
Everyone else watching, you lost the game.
The one person watching me lost the game as well.
But in
Thank you
Apex
for watching, by
Legends,
the way.
there's a character named Bloodhound, which canonically, and you can look this up, Bloodhound is non-binary. They're voiced by a female voice actor, and the character looks pretty male, but they are non-binary.
That's pretty cool.
It's hard to say also when you look at it.
Yeah.
It is.
Underneath all that.
I mean, there was a lot of speculation about, wait, is Bloodhound a guy or a girl? I don't know.
Yeah, right. It's the same with Pyro from Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Mm-hmm. And but I think what we're getting at, we want in this story, is to have something that is completely not asexual, but it is. It has no definitive sex applied to it before
not
we
necessarily.
start exploring personality traits.
Exactly,
right?
not necessarily that. It doesn't have to be a completely generic thing that doesn't have a personality or anything. I just think we don't need to define anything. This has to. It should be able to apply to anybody, because we're all people, and it doesn't matter how different we are. We are all the same in the deepest level. We're all human, right?
Yeah.
Everyone will apply a soul to something when they see it and think, oh, a Bloodhound's a guy because I think he should be a guy. Oh, no, Bloodhound is a girl because I think she should be a girl. People are going to see something and apply a label to it, but we shouldn't make this the main focus about it, or what?
Yeah.
Like, we should not tell the people what it is that we're making. Like,
Exactly.
That's also really not the reason that Bloodhound is my favorite character. It's
No.
more the aesthetic of Bloodhound.
Yeah.
With
For
the
sure.
Raven and for the All-Father and all that shit.
Up your alley.
That is hits just right.
Yeah. But I like the idea of tackling the no labels idea, also just as a theme potentially.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Thing to could like make it a thing to let people maybe know that assigning labels is okay, but it's not a path of righteousness to apply it. It's not the definitive meaning of the person to have a label on them.
Yeah.
It is essentially the character, the traits, their personality that matters when it all boils down to it.
Yeah.
No matter if you're from the LGBTQ, putting labels on it, and you want it to be something gendered, or if you're a cisgender person who just wants them to be a good old male-female love story kind of thing, doesn't matter. It should all depend on liking the character, of course.
And I really think it's one of the most important lessons of life to know that, like, because this thing about labeling is not just about putting a name on something. It's the thing that we talked about, that we humans, we have this instinct of putting ourselves in a group and then hating everyone else who's not in that group.
Yeah.
And like you see it at schools, man. Like we I think we all can relate to the rival school thing, where you go into a school and there's another school that, because it's not your school, is shit, you know, and then you see each other on the street and you're like, oh, these motherfuckers are from that school, yeah, fuck those guys. I don't know, can you relate to that? I've gone to about 30 schools in my life because of moving around and all that, and I have always experienced that.
Yeah, I mean, you would know how that feels for sure. If a person that comes to my mind that could be interesting to draw parallels with is the guy called Daryl Davis, who you probably already know as the guy who befriended a Ku Klux Klan leader and actually unconverted.
Yeah.
He's a African American who managed to convince a leader of the Ku Klux Klan to actually defect from it, and by approaching it with an open mind and having it be a civil conversation between people with different ideals, till someone either admits, oh, well, everything I knew was either wrong, or no, I still believe what I believe, and that's okay.
You know what? I think that guy is awesome for doing that. But I also think we need to give credit to that the other guy, the leader of the Ku Klux Klan, for having an open mind, and changing, because that's so important to be able to listen to people and understand that you don't know everything. You don't know everything. People have had different experiences in their life, and you can see that in everything. Like two siblings can have gone through exactly the same things and become completely different people because of the way they process their information, because of their mental state at the moment, and like everything plays a role. And unless you're completely open to the idea that you have something to learn from everyone you talk to, you're not going to be the smartest man in the room. You're actually going to be the dumbest person in the room.
You cannot educate anyone unless you're also willing to learn something yourself.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. As I'm writing it down.
Cool.
Educating someone if you're not open to learn yourself. Cool. All right. That's a cool idea for labels kind of theme. I really like that.
We're reaching 3 hours in 7 minutes.
And I'm also reaching the point where my stomach is very empty.
Okay.
Yeah. But I really would like to go with this no labels theme of a story.
I think
and simmer, for next time maybe.
And so I guess we'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, so I'm thinking that shut down the stream on YouTube, but continue on Twitch if we're gonna play something, Costa.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna keep it going on YouTube as well. It's fine.
Yeah, I wanna keep it consistent with the different episodes.
I don't know. I'm actually downloading Siege right now, but it's gonna take a while.
I was also thinking like maybe Monopoly.
Oh,
ooh,
cool! Yeah,
it's 43 on Ubisoft right now.
Oh, I have to pay for it? No, thank you, man.
Yeah.
I have.
I don't think I can just pull you into a game.
No, I have had too many expenses. Anyway, Anas, Daniel, we can talk about this. Anas,
Yeah.
go have some dinner, and thank you for joining us. Amazing talking
Hey,
to
thanks
you
for
again.
It was awesome. I love writing the story thing with you. It's awesome, and I do love the tangents we get on. I hope to see you again next Sunday
Yes,
with
definitely.
ideas and thoughts about how we can approach this more specifically. You know, some ideas for stories. It'll be so fun.
Definitely, it's gonna be awesome. I know it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Fuck yeah!
All
I'll
right. See you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Happy streaming.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, everyone, if there's anyone on YouTube right now, head over to my Twitch. We're gonna continue there.
There. I don't know. Because this is my old computer, and I only have Raft installed in this. I think. Oh, we could jump on my server on Raft, and
We could also play Portal.
we could also play Portal, but I have to download that.
Oh, I thought you had it.
No, I told you
Download.
this is. I only have Raft on this computer, but that
okay.
shouldn't take too long. Let me stop the other one.
Cool.
Q. How can I do this? How can I move a cute thing up?
Now it's time to open a bunch of stuff.
Oh, and while we're doing this, you can tell me about the filters.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so at your microphone,
Yes.
you go to that little cogwheel.
Yeah. Filters. I have the
Click
limiter
it. Click
on.
filter. So I have noise suppression.
Okay, let's do this. Noise suppression. Yeah.
I used a method called speaks,
Okay.
and I have it set to minus 20 decibel.
Minus 20. Minus 20. Cool. Oh shit.
Then I have the limiter,
Wait.
which I think you should also have.
Yeah, I have the limiter.
Yeah.
Should-
Then the
yeah.
compressor,
Compressor.
and I just use the standard settings on that. The compressor, what it does is that if you yell into your microphone,
Yeah,
the
I
compressor
saw the video you sent me.
will
Yeah. Woo!
lower that.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
which is very cool.
Anything else?
That's it for now. I've been trying to get like a noise gate, which is a thing that it activates your microphone only when it reaches a certain amount of decibel.
Huh. So
Most people have it set to minus 30,
minus 30.
which means that
Well, the standard is minus 32.
yeah, the standard is minus 30. So like random noise around the room will not go in there. What else do I have? I have Valheim.
But I'm not gonna. Yes. Alright. Cool. Valheim. I don't
But
have
I'm
Valheim.
guessing you don't have Valheim yet.
No.
No.
We could, while Portal is downloading, we could play some Raft, like on my server.
Yeah, but wouldn't. I mean, we got nothing.
Well, let's see. Raft cheat codes. Spawn items / animals.
There we go. Is it because Steam is... Yeah, fuck off, Steam. Don't download now. You're fucking up my stream.
We can try. Do you want to try?
With Raft?
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, yeah, okay, might as well. To OBS, we need... That one is visible. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. There we go.
That is gonna be interesting with me downloading as well. We could also just start moving the raft if we cannot use the cheats.
Yeah, but move it where?
To a random island.
Hmm. Wait, no. Steam doesn't download games when you're playing other Steam games.
Does it?
No. It pauses the download.
Oh, I see. Then you cannot... Ah, you can. You can restart it.
Huh.
Okay, so the only thing I have is 2 plastic bottles.
Great.
So I think you should move the raft to a place
Okay.
that is...
Ah, god damn it. Forgot I have to turn on the engine. Which are all full. Goody, 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 goody. Okay. I need to get up, up. Come on. Stupid ladders. Oh. Turn! This is not working.
What do you mean?
Can you change the direction on them?
Yes. Change direction. Change direction. Change direction. Change direction. And change direction.
Cool. Change it back.
Change direction. Change direction. Change direction. Change direction. Change direction. Done.
Yay. Did we hit the island again?
Yes.
Ah, fucking
But
hell.
it's moving, I think it's gonna be fine.
I'm not seeing any movement.
I am. It's moving slowly, but it's moving. Very slowly.
Very slowly. Yeah, this is not working.
The good thing with this
Great, and then hunger.
Don't eat all the food because I'm hungry too.
There is no food.
There is no food?
Well, we're just gonna rotate for a bit.
Okay, I can start cooking some stuff then. You get some potatoes and some beets. And some chicken. Some mushrooms. Some fish. Cool. We have a stew brewing. And I'm gonna... We moved away from the island.
Yeah. And we're rotating, so.
Why are we rotating?
Because I put the wheel to rotate us away from the island.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm just waiting for food.
I'm just collecting resources.
There we go.
What is really cool about this raft is that we have a lot of fucking nets.
Yeah.
So we're gonna collect some new resources very quickly.
Okay, stop rotating. There we go. Okie dokie.
That playlist is pretty cool.
Yeah. Off we go.
Pretty cool. Thanks, Kanye.
Very cool.
Where is all the trash? It's on its chair.
The trash is on the way.
There's gonna be vegetable soup for you soon down here.
Nice.
What is the purpose of rocks in this game?
Locks?
Rocks.
Well, in the beginning, you can make those
Axes.
one-time use anchors.
Yeah, and axes. I'm collecting the resources. You can take care of the engines and stuff.
I'm just getting planks for the engines.
Cool. We're gonna have to go find some metal ingots. There's an island over there. There's an island. We need to find metal ingots. And I need to make a scrapbook from plastic. Let's I need this. And I need to make a spear. That should be fine. Can make an axe. Interesting. I need to use some stones. Plastic. Wood. There's soup for you here.
Oh,
Or I'll eat it.
where's the clay bowl? There. All right, it's off to the island then.
Yes, I'll just get some water. You know, I was very sad when you guys all of a sudden gave up on this server just because we didn't have anything. Carolina,
Gave up on it.
Well, Carolina got completely demotivated. You didn't want to play right before. Come on, we can make it work. Make it work.
I never said I didn't want to play on this one.
Metal ingots, yes. Metal ores.
I found 9.
Ooh, nice. There's a lot of things in this island. It's like the game knows that we need a lot of shit. It's like
Maybe it does know.
yeah, I feel like has been very merciful right now. I know I have not been attacked by the shark.
Maybe the game runs on an algorithm. This, so let's fill this area up with this.
Yeah. Could be.
$13.
Metal ores?
Yeah.
Cool. I just got 2. But I got a lot of sand and scrap and some clay. A lot of rocks.
Yep.
Ooh, more metal ores. Four.
Oh,
Yeah.
more.
I'm gonna be able to rebuild all our tools that we lost. Oh, no, that's not it.
I'm heading back to the raft.
Okay.
It has just been nothing but spam bots today.
At least you had some traction.
Yeah, but it doesn't even give me views.
That's okay. Since when do you care about views? I thought you did this for
I've
fun.
always cared about views.
What?
I've always cared about views.
I thought you did this for fun.
I don't care about fame.
What about Sophie? Where is she? She's still here?
Sophie's not here. She left a while ago.
Okay, I'm coming back to the raft. That's a pretty cool raft we got there. gonna have to create some tools. We can X, scrap, and
Ah, Jesus.
Are we moving?
No.
Are we gonna move?
In a minute.
Did you put your resources in the right places? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'm gonna make a section in the food storage for the tools for Carolina.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna make tools for her too. Just in case she wants to come back.
So how long is
It says another 12 minutes. Let's make some stuff, shall we? Scrap hooks. Oh. Daxis.
Why did my plastic cup disappear?
I don't know. You probably dropped it somewhere.
No, I didn't press the drop button.
I don't know. Are we moving?
Hmm.
Why is there no trash?
I picked it up.
Ah.
I'm gonna fish a little bit.
Okay. I'm going to collect the trash.
We're coming up on a big island.
Like Blood Island or?
Yeah, I think one of those that would show up as a green blip.
Hmm. I'm gonna collect the trash because I need to eat. Okay, we have axe, we have hook. Now we need... I think I'm gonna make a machete for each of us.
Yeah.
Ooh, machetes are very expensive. They need 4 metal ingots for one of them. Well, 2 bolts and 2 metal ingots. You think it's worth it?
Hmm. Got no idea.
I'll do it. I got something for you.
Hmm.
Come here.
Ooh, machete.
Machete. I just need to make one for Carolina.
We could basically turn around at this point.
Yeah, and go back
Big
to the big island, yeah. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm. Just gotta check which way it is. Oh, I went down too far. Alright, so we need to turn all the way back. 360. Or wait, no, 180. A full 180.
A full 180, not a half 180.
That should be good. No, that was too much. No, wait. No. It's right.
Do you have a bow and arrow?
I do. I have a bow and 2 arrows.
2 arrows, okay. Then I'm gonna use the last metal ingots to make some arrows for us. And a bow for me. Does it sound good?
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. Carolina should have all the things now.
Cool. Let's cook some food then.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. One of the engines ran out.
I have 12 wood.
We got 3 engines still going, or still working. The last 2 are completely dry.
Are you gonna cook some stew?
I'm gonna collect some wood
Okay.
so we can get moving again.
There's a raft.
Mm-hmm.
What can we make with honeycombs?
We can make honey.
Yeah. Because we have a lot of it.
And the honey we can use to make biofuel.
Yeah, but we don't know the biofuel yet in this one.
Nope.
And this is not Minecraft, so you cannot just make things because you know the combination.
Nope.
Okay. Hey, I got something for you.
Hmm.
Here.
Hold on. Where?
Here.
Ooh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, island. Big one.
Where we were with the bear?
Nope. But we might as well just stop here for some resources.
Yeah. What time is it?
It's 11:45.
Should we stop here? The stream?
Completely?
Yeah.
Portal's not done?
It actually is. But I don't know, it's late. Have to work tomorrow.
True.
Yeah. And we got unstuck from the... We have everything we need now. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
That didn't take us long, like
No.
an hour.
Yeah, not even. Only half an hour, I would say. Alright.
Right. Let me see. I still have one viewer. I could technically go raid another streamer with one viewer.
You can do that.
How does that work? Do
I don't know.
I go in here and then I type /raid? Yeah, /raid and then channel. But what? Okay, so type in there. So like that? Is this how it works? Invalid username. That's what he's called. Oh, maybe like that. And then I click. Okay. I want to make sure this is how this. Okay. There. What? I click right now. It worked.
Nice. Who do you raid?
Solar.
Oh, cool. All right. Well. Thanks for the day. It was fun. It was interesting. It was cool. Let's sit by the bar. Come on. I haven't sat by the bar.
You haven't won?
Sit by the bar.
Oh. Let me just join you again.
Oh, you were not in the game?
No.
Oh, that's okay. We can go. It's fine.
Okay.
It's okay. I thought, but I can see you in the game. That's why.
No, I left it a while ago.
Thanks for watching, everybody. It was really fun, and I will see you on Tuesday. Yeah, in a couple of days with some more Raft.
Yeah.
And next Sunday, we're gonna pick up where we left with the project. I am actually very excited about this. It's gonna be